What's up, guys? It's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video, and this is going to be about how to manage your storage. Because everybody in the fucking game has problems with storage, and you will always have problems with storage. You will always be full, and it will never be enough. But there are ways that you can manage it to be much more efficient than having to sell off your stuff for pennies just to simply get it gone quickly. When I read that this morning on my channel, somebody had made a comment about how it's efficient. Sometimes it's a good idea to do that, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's never a good idea to do that, and it's not efficient. Now, what that tells me is that you need to manage your storage better, okay? So, first off, let me just start off by saying that Daniel is not the enemy. Daniel is an excellent feature in the game, and you want to utilize that, okay? Now, the other thing that I want to make very clear is that on my channel, I offer efficient advice, okay? There's lots of advice out there that works. There's lots of advice out there that might be considered good advice. However, when I talk about advice on my channel, I talk about the most efficient, okay? Is it beneficial to sell off all your revenue for pennies? No. Does it get items sold quickly? Yeah. Should you do it? No. Okay. How can you avoid having this situation where you constantly are full and you have this? So, okay. First off, let me just start off by saying this. It depends on what you're doing. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that I guarantee every single person watching this is making, is that you guys are holding the same items all the time, okay? Or you're making the same items, or you're holding, people get into this routine where they're like, okay, I try to always have, backpacks and paint and what have you on, in my storage, right? Or I try to make this at night and I try to make this during the day. And it's hard to get people to break that cycle, especially when they feel it's the most beneficial. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys is, based on whatever it is that you're doing in the game, you need to change what items you're making in your shops, what you're selling, how you're selling it, if you're putting it on global, if you are constantly broke and that's why you need these sales done quickly. And so when you look at an issue and you say, you know what, I want to make items that sell quickly, why? When I hear that, the first thing I think is they want the items to sell quickly because they're broke, right? And the way that I see that isn't to say that I don't look at that issue and go, you know what, I think that the most beneficial thing to do would be to make items that sell quickly so that I can make money quickly. I look at that and say, I need to make better items so that I'm not broke, so that I don't need to make these sales done, ASAP. And so you have 32 depot slots in total, okay? Now, first thing is stop putting war items in your depot. That's number one. Those things will clog up your depot like you wouldn't believe. They sit there for days on end. You can only post one at a time, okay? And they can only be posted to group members. So stop putting those in your depot unless you're somebody who plays in an avid war club, and that's it's not an issue to you. The other thing is with this new VU pass, it's actually more beneficial for you to just launch the war items, collect on those war cards, leave them there for when you get an assignment to upgrade your war attack when you get to Mega. So you would benefit greatly from launching them than selling them, okay? Now, when it comes to other ways to manage your storage, if I'm doing an epic project, my storage is going to look a lot different than if I'm doing the contest of mayors or if I'm making money. So that's number one. It's knowing how to set your storage up based on whatever it is you're doing. So many of you here, like I said, you hold all the same items, whether you're playing calm, whether you're doing epics, or whether you're just flat trying to make money. So let's say that you're doing com prep, because a lot of people watching this here, you know, you guys play the Contest of Mayors. Now this is going to depend greatly on how much space you have, what level you are, what league you're in, okay? But I will tell you this, if you open up your inventory here, what I want everybody here to do is open up their inventory and break it down into sections. I want you to write down the rare items that you have, okay? And by rares, that's anything rare, okay? Whether it be VU, airport, whatever. If you're somebody that's not doing airport upgrades, okay? If you're somebody who's camping, if you're somebody who does not have regional maps unlocked, junk those items. What I mean is sell them off. Put them for sale in your depot for club members, okay? Or just sell them to global. If you're not doing upgrades and you're not doing regional shipments, you don't need them, okay? And that'll clear up some space. Next thing, VU. That's going to take up a nice chunk of your inventory when you're playing the Contest of Mayors, or just really at any point in time in the game. You need to have right around 50 of each VU to compete in the Mega League, okay? So that's going to account for 150 of your inventory. Now, you have raw materials. Those are things like metal, textiles, chemicals, electric. That's raw materials. What you need to do, if you're playing the Contest of Mayors, you're going to hold the raw materials way differently than you normally would. Whatever's hard for you to obtain, that might be something to hold on to, okay? If it's easy for you to find glass, don't hold on to 47 glass. Hold on to maybe 5, okay? Textiles are probably going to be one of the ones that you hold on to quite a bit and take up quite a bit of your space, right? So what you can do is you can go through and you can fill your shops up based on whatever it is you're doing in the game. If you're playing the Contest of Mayors, you know, and I know, that you should have 10 items done at any one time and 1 item to collect. What that means is, out of all 11 production slots, you should have 1 item making at all times and 10 ready for pickup, okay? That's going to minimize the amount of time between tasks, right? Now, if you're running your shops strictly for production, okay, strictly to make money, you can manage your storage way differently, right? You can get rid of all the stuff that you're not going to be using, and we're going to talk about that. But then you can hold on to the raw materials that you need. Fill up your shops, add up what you need. Say, okay, to make the next batch of flour, I'm going to need X amount of textiles, right? And hold on to what you need. Don't hold on to 87 seeds. You can deal with that later, okay? You don't need to hold 80 seeds for the next 8 hours, right? That's foolish. Now, here's the big problem that everybody has, is they sell stuff they shouldn't, right? They sell things like cream, paint, ladders, paint. I just said paint. Ladders. Oh my God. Okay, let's try that again. Paint and ladders. Don't sell them fuckers. Flour. Don't sell your flour. Make that into donuts, okay? If you have an overflow and you're like, well, you know, I've got this overflow of flour and I can't make donuts quick enough, run a token on them. Make you some money, okay? Melons. Don't sell the melons. If you're a level 18 player, sell the melons to the high level players. Don't sell them to global. A level 18 player has no use for melons, okay? Because you're going to be running donuts full time. And you're going, and what I mean by that is you have no use for melons in the money making aspects. Sure, you can make smoothies, but that's just going to kind of dink around with your donut production. And it just kind of screws everything up. So I would just stick with making donuts. You can make smoothies if you'd like, though. Okay. Don't sell things like beef, cheese, cream, corn, pretty much anything from the barn you really should never sell aside from veggies. Okay? So you're going to have, let's say that you're somebody with quite a lot of, if you're somebody with less than 200 storage, you're screwed. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. You're screwed and you need to restart. Unless you're somebody that just now started playing. When you're level 24, you're going to be comfortable right around 400 to 500 storage. That's where you're going to have a lot of wiggle room and you can hold quite a bit of stuff. Okay? As you progress, you have to understand that you have, think about it like this, okay? Every time you unlock storage, every time you increase your storage by 5, you upgrade 1 time. Every 5 times you upgrade, the cost of the upgrade goes up by 1, right? Now, so what that means is if it costs 15 storage items each to upgrade, then in 5 more times, it's going to cost 16 each. It's going to cap out at 25 each, which means that you need to have 75 spaces in total, okay, to do your next upgrade. Now, how many people here have an overflow of 1 or 2 storage items? Quite a few. You never have just the 75 that you need. That's very rare, right? So you're looking at needing, at a minimum, usually about 100 space designated just for upgrading storage at all times, right? And then you have dozer. And this is why in the Missy's Building Guide, I tell people to unlock their dozer very early on in the game. This is going to minimize the amount of storage space that you have to set aside for that as well. Same with beach and mountain. That's something you're going to get done within the first couple rounds of Mega, and you're not going to have to hold beach, you're not going to have to hold mountain, and you're not going to have to hold dozer. Storage items are not going to be being held by you once you max them out. You'll probably be trading them off for things like VU, right? Now, once you add up, anybody here watching this video, once you add up all the amount of space that you have designated just to rare items, how much of your storage is taken up just by rare items alone? Okay, airport, beach, mountain, whatever. Sell off any of the rares that you don't use, okay? And the 3 main rares that are most important is going to be dozer, VU, and storage. Those 3 should never be sold just for coins. Those 3 should always be traded, okay? If you're at the point where you have more than 50 of each VU, I would recommend launching the VU as much as you can and getting as many gold keys as you can because we're going to have that sale coming up, okay? Next thing, if you're running your production line for maximum efficiency when it comes to coins, you're going to want to hold more raw materials than you are regular items. There's certain items, and I'm going to go through each list of them, that I'm going to refer to as a tier 3, which is something that you can sell that you can find on global pretty much all the time. A tier 2 is going to be an item that you really should hold on to quite a bit because you don't find them on global. They're not something that you're going to want to produce for money, and they're not really something that you're going to want to sell for money. You know what I mean? Like sell at all. They're stuff that you really should hold on to. Now, let's say that you're doing an epic project, okay? You're going to hold on to a lot more of specific items than you would if you were, let's say, just trying to make money. So, for example, the donut shop. Is it really necessary that you hold 20 donuts? No. Okay? Donuts are very easy to find if you're producing them, especially. You really don't need to hold any donuts. Maybe 1 or 2 would be fine. Okay? Now, if you're doing an epic project, it would probably be beneficial to have 5 on hand for when it comes up. You can just quickly get it done, but those are super easy to find. Okay? Cheesecake. That's something that you can find on global, but not as often. So I recommend if you are doing an epic project, definitely have at least 5 of those on hand near the end of your epic. But no, they're not really something that you need to hold on to, a lot of. Yogurts. Those, again, they're kind of like cheesecake. They're an expensive item. They do pop up on Global here and there, but honestly, you don't want to have a full inventory, so I'd say 5 is plenty. On any good day, when it comes to even not doing an epic, is what I'm saying. 5 cheesecake and 5 yogurts is plenty. Honestly, I usually try to hold like 2 of each, okay? Unless I'm doing an epic. Coffee, that's one of the ones you don't see on the global market very often because it is not beneficial to make. It's not profitable. And it is asked for quite a bit. You also have to look at supply and demand. The demand for coffee is actually quite high, really. It pops up quite a bit on VU repairs. It pops up a lot on house upgrades and shipments. So definitely want to have at least 10 of those if you're doing an epic, maybe even 20, okay? Now, smoothies are something that, again, they sell quickly, they're profitable, and they aren't very easy to obtain at a high level. Now, at lower levels, when you first unlock them, you can obtain them relatively quickly. I recommend having, if you're doing an epic, at least having 15 to 20 on hand, but any normal day, I would say 5 is definitely plenty, okay? Rolls, bread rolls. Now, this is a whole different ballpark, okay? This is something that you're going to produce to have and hold on to for yourself. This is not something you produce to make money with, okay? You're going to be producing, you make more money making flour to make donuts than you do making flour to make cream to make bread rolls, right? So if you come across bread rolls on the global market, buy them, okay? If you have too many and you want to know what you can do with them, make ice cream if you can purchase the cream, okay? If you can purchase bread rolls and cream, ice cream turns a $230 per hour profit. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'd have to pull the production guide. But it's very profitable if you can purchase the materials. If you have to make the materials, you end up losing money in a sense because of the cream, okay? Now, definitely want to have quite a bit of those, especially if you're doing an epic project. I would say upwards of 20, maybe even 30 bread rolls if you're doing an epic. Now, just to have on hand, I try to have at least 10 on hand at all times because people in my group need them quite a bit. I need them quite a bit. So just definitely have those on hand, okay? Now, when it comes to this building supply store, here's the thing about this store. Again, depends on what's going on in the game and what you're doing. Lately, I've been making a lot of planks on tokens, okay? Why? Because so many of my club members need them. And why do they need them? Because of this stupid carved wood item in the new shop. Now, before that, planks were high demand for the repairs and shipments and things like that. But they're even more high demand now. So I've been running them on tokens for people in my group. Do I try to have planks on hand at all times? Absolutely. I recommend having anywhere from 5 to 10 planks at all times. Now, nails, this is going to depend on what you do in your game. Nails are an extremely profitable item. Anytime that you're on your game and you can focus if you can refill your shop, if you're a level 18 player, every 49.5 minutes, make nails. Those are so profitable, it's not even funny, okay? Here's the issue, though. Well, it's not really an issue. They get asked for a lot with repairs, with just a lot of things, okay? They're constantly being asked for. They sell like hotcakes, right? So I see people say, well, you know, I decided to make melons to sell melons because they sell fast. Well, okay, let me explain this to you. Melons do sell quickly, right? But so do donuts. Donuts sell fast and they're much more profitable. Okay, then people say, well, I made planks instead of nails because they sell fast. Nails sell faster than planks and they make more money, okay? Well, I can't sit there all day. Okay, so put up 10 nails and 1 cement. You're going to be better off than making planks, right? So, paint. glue. Those two items right there, hold those. Do not sell those. Those are items that you really should hold on to, okay? If you're a lower level player and you have higher level players in your group, there's ways that you can help them by selling them. If you see glue on the global market and a lot of it, buy it and sell it to the high level players. Same with cement. Cement and glue for high level players is extremely beneficial because they can turn them into gnomes. Gnomes sell for an excellent profit, especially if you can purchase the materials required, okay? Paint is something that you should have, I want to say, right around 10 to 20, especially if you're doing an epic, okay? Right, 20 paint at a minimum if you're doing an epic project. Paint is asked for constantly in the game. And so there's items, what I'm trying to say, you guys, is there's items that you need to hold on to for yourself. If you're out there and you're selling paint and glue and things like that to get coins, and then turning around and spending time making the items that you sold because now you don't have them, that's really quite foolish. So the reason that you're in the situation you're in, where you're constantly broke and needing to sell your stuff quickly, is because you're not doing it efficiently, right? Now, take a step back and stop putting yourself into this horrible cycle and say, you know what, I'm going to step back. I'm going to look at my storage. I'm going to say, okay, you know what, I'm doing an epic project today. Here's what I need to do. I need to get all my tier 2s and 3s up for sale. Okay, or my tier 3 is up for sale. So things like burgers, ice cream, gnomes, TVs, bulbs, all that stuff. Those are easy to get on global. Pizza. How often do you see cheese fries on global? All the time. Do you really need to hold 10 of them? No. You can get them on global constantly, right? Sugar. You don't need to hold sugar. Maybe 5 at a time so that you can get the donuts produced. Once you've got them done, you don't need to hold them anymore, right? Okay? So dispose of any of these stupid regional material, the raw materials for the regional maps, to get rid of those. I mean, go make something on your regional map. Get that store squared away, okay? Textiles, you're definitely going to want to at least keep those on hand. Text and chems seem to be one of the two main things that I need all the time are chems and text. And that's just so that I can quickly get the cement going, or the flour going, or the caps if you're making, caps in your fashion store. Once you've got your shops going and you know that they're good for X amount of hours, you can say, okay, I can get rid of, these 40 electric that I just have sitting here because I've got 11 TVs making for the next 22 hours, right? You don't need to hold all that stuff anymore. Now, I try to keep around 5 of each raw material item that's hard to get. Things like chems, techs, electric, those are things that are hard to get for me. Now, I don't try to hold 20 metal, 20 wood, 20 plastic. That's foolish, okay? You don't need to do that, right? Now, what you do want to do is you want to take the items that you don't want to sell and you want to restock your inventory, so to speak. You have items you produce to make money, and then you have items that you keep so that you don't have to spend time making them and cut into making money. So the reason that you guys are all broke, the reason that you're having to sell off your inventory is because of what you're keeping and what you're making for money. That's what's happening. You're putting yourself into this cycle of, you know what, I don't have space because I have to hold on to this stuff. I sell the stuff that doesn't turn a high profit so that I get some quick coins now. And then I end up in a situation where I have to make the wrong items, which turn less profit, and you put yourself in this vicious cycle, okay? Try to step back and say, you know what? These are the items that don't turn a high profit that I need, that I'm going to keep. So wouldn't it be a novel idea to produce the highest profitable items, right? Sell the highest profitable items while holding on to the items that you actually need and use for yourself. And then you're like, but I'm broke. But you wouldn't be broke. Okay? That's the whole point. You're not going to be broke if you play more efficiently. And so then people say, well, now I've got this backlog of I can't collect all my stuff that's sitting there in my shops. Well, first off, okay, all you have to do is collect one item in every shop just to get it going. Okay, so maybe it's morning, right? You just opened up your game, your storage is full, and you can't collect anything. Sell off enough shit. Just put up enough stuff. I'm sure there's something garbage that you can dispose of. Enough to clear at least one space. Go to your shop and put one item. Doesn't matter which. Just put one item in there. Okay, preferably a profitable item. Now you've got at least something making, and now I've got X amount of minutes before I'm just not making money. So at least I've got that going. Go through every shop and at least get one item making. You've got 10 ready for pickup. Doesn't matter as long as one item's making, because you can only make one item at a time, right? Now that all the shops are squared away, now you're going to go to your factories and you're going to start picking up what you need to. Now you're probably going to be full, and that's where you can say, okay, I just picked up a batch of feed, right? Well, or text or whatever it is that you made that night. And then go to your shop and see what you can get set up. Can you get, 10 more donuts making? Make it. You know what I'm saying? Get the stuff squared away. Once you do that, then go to your depot and say, you know what? Do I really need 4 suits that I know I can get on Global all the time? No. Okay, what am I going to be doing today? Am I playing the contest of mayors? Let's set my storage up for that. Am I doing an epic project? Okay, I'm doing an epic project. Now I'm going to dispose of anything like that's real easy to obtain. Couches, pink drinks, war items. Okay, I'm not going to post them all for sale. That's going to clear 32 space in my depot or in my storage, but it's going to block up my depot to where I can't sell anything? No. Just go to the damn war map and launch the stuff. Okay? Get rid of it quicker. It's going to save you a ton of money. Ton of time, too. Okay? Because in a sense, every minute that you sit here and allow these to just sit here uncollected, you're wasting time. You could be making something, right? So that's number one, is getting the stuff going and making. Once you've got everything making and your stuff's all squared away, then you can deal with your storage. And you can say, you know what? Today I'm doing an epic, so I need to go through, make my list, get rid of the 8 hamburgers that I have because I can get those on Global later. Now, what should you do and what should you price your items for to make them sell quickly? Well, that depends. Do you need coins right this very minute? If you do, you're going to set your depot up differently, okay? For example, I don't need coins right this very second because I know I'm doing videos today. And I know I'm going to be doing the walkthrough city, right? But if I did, what I would probably do is advertise something I know would sell quickly, because what people do is they say, well, I don't want my depot on Global very long, but then they go and they advertise something that doesn't sell very quickly. Or they advertise something that sells so fast that one person shows up, buys that one item, and then they're back to square one. What you can do is, instead of selling your stuff off for pennies, first off, put anything that you know is going to take a long time to sell all the way to the end of your depot. Okay? That's number one. So any burgers, any gnomes, anything like that, put all the way to the end of your depot, right? Now, 32 slots is actually quite a bit, okay? So now that you've got the stuff pushed all the way to the right, now let's say, well, I wanted to sell, let's say 5 bulbs, okay? I can put them for sale, and what I can do is I can knock down the price just a few pennies Now, how many people sell the bulbs for the 4444, right? A lot of people. But I can jumble it up into the double digits, and what I mean by that is, sorry, it clicked off. Okay, so go to max, drop it down. Okay, like that, right? So now it's 4434. That's really going to screw somebody. They're going to be like, and it's going to sell faster. Now, I could advertise that, right? But right now, I want somebody to get that damn teapot out of my depot. It's the only reason I'm not. Now, I can go through and I can say, okay, I need to trade off some of these wheels. So I can go and ask people, does anybody need dozer wheels? I need to trade them. Try to kind of even this out a little bit. Launch some of my war items. Look at my regionals. Look at all these regionals I'm holding. I could go over to my regional maps, okay? Now I'm going to go over to my regionals and I'm going to sell off the stuff to those stupid bubbles that pop up. Go through my storage and say, you know what? Fries, gnomes, pizza, ice cream, burgers. Let's see what else. Pink drinks. All those things sell quickly. Sell them off. The popcorn, hold it because that stuff is not profitable to make and it's not easy to find. Backpacks, not profitable to make, not easy to find. Hold those, okay? Caps and shoes and watches and suits, easy to find on Global, sell it if you don't need it, okay? Once you do that, you'll start to see, wow, I got some room. But it really, really, really depends on what it is you're holding. And many of you will find out that. Do you know how many people I see where they say, well, I didn't have room, so I had to sell off some of my storage. Or I had to sell off this, and this. And I say, okay, send me a screenshot of your inventory, right? And here they are. They've sold off 4 storage, but they're holding 22 seeds. And I'm like, why didn't you just sell off the 4 seeds? Oh, well, I don't know. Well, because I need them for something. Okay. What? Oh, I got to make flour. Well, how many do you have in production? 11. So in 4.5 hours, you're going to need a batch of seeds. And you sold off your storage. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Now, here's the other thing. The money, needing money right this very minute thing. If you're in a situation where you have to sell off your stuff immediately, you have to get that paint sold because you need those coins. What are you selling them for? What are the coins for? Because there's nothing so important in the game where you should be selling rares or even items that you need if you're playing efficiently, right? So, is it beneficial to say, you know what, I need this depot space right now, and I need all this stuff gone right now to where I need to sell off all my shit for pennies? I can't even imagine a situation where I would need to do that. That tells me that you need to change the way you're playing, okay? If you're in a situation where you're going to your depot and you're selling things for pennies, just simply to dispose of them because you're out of space, you're doing something wrong. Very, very wrong, okay? The way that you sell the things in your depot should be thought out, okay? Hang on. Okay. So, here's the thing, you guys. Usually what I do, because what'll happen is if I put burgers or something on Global, my depot will probably be Global for quite some time, which I don't want. So usually what I do is I try to post something that I know will sell, but won't sell instantly, right? So something like a smoothie is going to sell pretty quickly. Now, something like yogurt might take a few minutes. So usually I might post something like that. And then another thing is if you guys have stuff posted, you got to make sure that you are, if you're in a situation where you need money right now, okay, it's probably a good idea to keep the items that you have, because here's the thing. When people sell items that they need, if you sell, for instance, when people they do an Epic project, for example, okay, and they know they're going to be doing one tomorrow or in the near future. And so what they do is they sell off all their stuff to try to get coins, okay? And what ends up happening is they end up in a situation where they spend the next 24 hours making the items that they just sold so that they have them for their next Epic. So right now they're sitting on maybe 50,000 coins and they're making back all the items that they just sold, right? Well, what they should have done is spent the next 24 hours making the highest profitable items and slowly replenishing the items that they need for their next Epic. So instead of selling off, 11 paint, they should have said, you know what, I'm going to make high profit items and I'm going to make the items that I need. The more items you have that you need for your Epic, the less money you're going to spend. The only reason you need 200,000 coins is because you don't have the items that you need. The more items you have, the less coin you need, right? Now, if you are in a situation where you're selling items for coin, essentially, what it comes down to is, I need this item, and I'm making this item for less money, right? And so I'm selling the item I need and I'm selling the items I need to make the items I need rather than making the items that turn a higher profit, right? That's foolish. Absolutely foolish. And then to turn around and say, you know what? These high profitable items don't sell. That's bullshit. Okay? First off, high profitable items aren't things like burgers. You shouldn't even have an overflow burgers because first off, you should never be buying them, really, and you should never be producing them. So the only reason I have burgers in my depot is because I had a stupid task for it, which I rarely get, okay? I think I've had a burger task maybe 4 times that was beneficial. And for the most part, the high profitable items sell really quickly. So that excuse of, well, I don't sell them or I don't make this because of that, or I don't sell this because of that. No. Nails, donuts, cement, pink drinks, those don't sell super fast, but they do sell. Nails, donuts, and cement, they fly off the shelf. You can't keep them there long enough, okay? Caps, those sell fast, and those are profitable. Chairs sell quickly, definitely profitable, okay? TVs and bulbs, no, not so much. But if you have a depot full of TVs, how many goddamn TVs have you been holding? You can only produce, 12 TVs in a 24-hour period? You telling me that Daniel didn't buy them by then? Like, the 2 space that they take up in your depot for a whopping 24 hours is just the end of the world for you? It's just going to kill you? No. Especially when you're taking into consideration all the times that you have to make things like microwaves, right? And so the question it's not a matter of necessarily getting more storage. That was kind of the point I was making at the beginning of the video, is it's never enough. It's never going to be enough, because what ends up happening is the more you get, the more crap you hold, right? It's not like you're going to be like, wow, I got more space to hold more stuff. And so if you're not holding the right stuff in the right quantity for the right things at the right time, it's just going to be full all the time. And if you're not producing the right things, if you're not putting thought into it, you're going to be broke. How many people here have opened their game and actually thought for 2 seconds how to make good money? Like, when was the last time you looked at your production line and went, you know what? This is profitable. I can make this many at this time, da-da-da-da-da. Rather than open your game and go, I got the materials to make this, so I guess I'll make that. Oh, cool, I picked up one of those. Ah, awesome. Oh, well, I'm broke. I'm going to go sell paint over here. Oh, you need this? Oh, okay, just sell that there. It's completely ridiculous. It's so random, and then you're like, I'm broke. No shit. If you ran a business like that in real life, can you imagine? Well, we've got an overstock of inventory. Let's just sell it off. Let's just give it away. I'd be hiring a new manager, right? I'd be like, excuse you? What the fuck you mean? What you mean you spent all day making Hot Pockets, selling them for $2 when you could have been making donuts and selling them for $200? That's somebody needs fired. That's what's going on. And then so-and-so comes to you and says, well, you know, you aren't going to believe this, but we got an overstock of Hot Pockets. Really? So we have an overstock of items that don't turn a profit. So your answer to that is to give them away. Yeah, you fired, dude. You done fired, okay? So think about it just for a minute on an intellectual aspect. Just for 2 seconds. Say, I got this much room on my shelf. I got this much time. I want to produce an item that turns a high profit. And they sell. It's not like they don't. And you know what's even more amusing? I'm going to tell you a little secret. That Daniel guy that you hate so much, that's a guaranteed sale. You might have to wait 24 hours, but it's a guaranteed sale. Why in the hell would you sell something for a penny when you know that Daniel's showing up in X amount of time and he's going to pay full price? That's foolish, right? You need to manage better. If you manage better, first off, the profitable items, you know why they sell? Because nobody makes them. And you know why people don't make profitable items? Because they play like this. And this is what happens when you play like this. Everybody falls into the same cycle. You got to step back. And it's not just making the profitable items. That's my whole point here. You can sit here and you can put your shops and make your shops and say, you know what? I've got all the right items producing in my shops. That's nice. Now what are you doing? All your shops are full and they're all cooking the profitable items. Now what are you doing? You're sitting there and you're not managing your storage. You need to go through your inventory. You need to put just a little bit of thought into how and what you're holding and why. Do you really need 40 seeds? Probably not. Do you need gnomes and burgers and pizzas and ice creams and things? No. Okay, you know you're doing an epic, so go through your inventory and get that shit squared away. You know that you're going to be doing calm. That's number one. And everybody here, pay damn close attention to what I'm about to say. You need to prep for the contest of mayors. Prep. If you don't prep, you will fail. Okay? And by prep, I had a kid that was in my group for a while back, and he came to me asking me if I could pick his assignments for this week. And I said, yes, but you have to prep. And I said, go watch my prep video. And then guess what happened? He didn't prep. He said he prepped, but he didn't prep very well, because when he got his carved wood task, he didn't have any planks. He didn't have any tape measures. I said, didn't you prep? Yeah. Okay. Then he gets a donut task. Didn't have any flour. I'm like, hello? First off, you should have donuts making all the time anyways. Where's your flour? Why didn't you prep for that? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Then he gets an airport task. A shipment task. It's asking for things like hammers. Okay? He should have had that stuff. I told him. That's in the prep video. To have that stuff on hand. Didn't have any of it. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck are you holding on to? He's a level 24, and he's got over 400 space. I had 375 space at level 55, okay? So now I'm sitting over here scratching my head going, what in the hell could you possibly be holding on to? To where you're full, you're broke, and you can't accomplish anything. What prep did you do? He really didn't have very many war items either, or even very many rare items. It was all just junk. You know, 10 here, 20 there, 5 here. It adds up, okay? Go through, just go through. Okay, go through your stuff and dispose of anything you're not going to use. Like right now, I've got 26 backpacks and 91 flour, okay? I've just been making flour because that's all I've been too busy to really fuck with anything else, right? So nobody in my group is very high level besides Chronic. I'm not gonna just post my backpacks for sale for shits and giggles, okay? I post them for sale for her if she needs them for an epic, but other than that, I hold them. My saps, a lot of people need those quite a bit. Now, I'm not just gonna post them for sale just for the hell of it. So really, I'll post things like nails because those I can make back really quickly, and I know I'm not gonna be using them right now, okay? Now I've got 49 of the textiles and 45 chemicals. So I can actually go over here and I can say, you know what? I need to make glue. I can get 7 glue posted up. And look at all the space I cleared just off that, right? Get that done. Throw up a token. Bada boom. I just cleared, look at all the space I just cleared, right? So essentially what you really need to do is go through your raw materials, dispose of anything, or, produce anything into whatever you can. Don't sell your rare items. Get rid of, launch your war items. Don't just post them up in your depot and then, bitch that nobody's buying them in your group. And then make sure that you're constantly, on top of it, and just make sure that you guys are keeping the items that you actually need that turn a high profit, that produce. Now, I'm just going to go through super quick and tell you guys what items to produce for money in each shop. This one, flour, okay? Day and night. Donuts, nails, cement. Okay, this one, you're pretty much going to be producing. Hammers are the most profitable, pretty much. You're going to produce whatever it is that you need, though. You're going to need tape measures for caps, and you're going to need hammers for chairs, and so forth. Now, all this shit's in the production guide, okay? Now, gnomes are high profit. Grass is high profit. Shovels are kind of a pain in the butt to get, though, okay? Now, again, these are high, blue techs are high profit. Chairs are high profit. Caps, shoes, if you could buy the glue, but you're better off doing gnomes. That's the sports shop. This one you're going to do bulbs or TVs, okay? So, essentially, that's what you need to do. Once you get your shop squared away, go through your inventory, figure out whatever it is you're doing that day. If you're just doing upgrades on houses, then focus on that. Now, think of the global market as kind of like a backup depot, in a sense. You know that at any given time, you can go onto the global market and purchase a specific list of items, right? So there's really no need to hold those items because you can go and get them at any given time. The issue, like I said, is that people, and especially right around level 30, is you guys are selling items you shouldn't sell, okay? Here's the thing. Every time that you sell your paint, how often do you see paint on global? You have to get it back somehow, okay? Because you're going to need it again. And when you do, you're going to have to make it. Every time that you have to make paint instead of something else, you screw yourself over, in a sense. Stop doing that. If you start playing like you got some sense, you'll be better off. So when it comes down to it, really, all three things matter. How you run your shops, what items you're producing to make money, what items you're posting for sale, and what items you're holding on to. All of those things are going to have a direct effect on one another. Okay? And you can't just make profitable items and expect all three other things to just sort themselves out, right? You have to focus on all four things, right? So try that. Try to make a list, go through, make a goal, say, okay, I'm doing this today. This is my goal. These are my raw materials. I've got this many hours worth of shop set up, okay? I'm holding on to these rares. I don't need 97 airport items because I'm not doing upgrades. I'm going to sell these off. Anything that you sell, offer to your club mates, of course. Okay. Put anything that takes a long time to sell at the end of your depot and advertise the stuff that sells relatively quickly. Maybe donuts. You don't need to knock the price on donuts because they sell quickly. If it becomes to the point where your depot's full of items that don't sell quickly, if it's full of burgers, if it's full of pizza, you need to ask yourself why. Why is your depot full of burgers and pizza and ice cream? Because it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have 97 pizzas. You shouldn't have burgers. What are you doing? Are you making burgers? Because if you're making burgers, you deserve a smack upside the head. Burgers do not sell well. And even if you do have burgers, that's the other thing I want to talk to you guys about. Listen to me. These little bubbles that pop up around your city, utilize those. They're excellent. They're excellent ways to get rid of shit, okay? And do the math on them before you do. So, for example, these stupid coins, some of these coins can have a high markup, like 30% or higher that I've seen. So if you do the math and it says it's offering, you know, X amount of money for X amount of product, and it's exceeding the amount, the maximum amount that it's going to give you, sell it to the bubbles. Don't sell it to the people on your game on global for pennies. You know how many people sell shit to the damn people on global before they do these bubbles? Why? Why? I mean, hit no on stuff that you're not going to do and then wait for the other ones to pop up and see. Do you know how many bubbles I get all the time for burgers, for fries? I mean, you're going to get a lot for rare, so be very careful not to hit yes on those. But there's a lot, you guys, and there's a lot of ways to get rid of stuff in the game where you don't have to just give this shit away for pennies. Especially, and a lot of you guys have feeders too. If you do have feeders, you guys need to pay attention and manage your feeder storage better. Maybe throw all your rares on the feeder city. Maybe throw all the textiles on the feeder city. I don't know. Do something. Manage your shit better, because there's no reason why you guys should be this damn broke and having, I'm trying to understand what's going on when I see so many people commenting on how they've got to sell items for pennies and how they're constantly full of storage. Well, we're all full on storage. Always. We're all going to be full on storage constantly, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm full on storage all the time. I'm going to tell you right now, it's annoying. But I can tell you one thing's for goddamn sure. I'm not selling my shit off for pennies because I have an overflow. I'm not griping about having to needing more room in my depot because nothing's selling quick enough to where I have to sell all my good stuff. So we're all going to have the storage struggle, and how you deal with it, I mean, it says a lot. For example, I have 37,000 coins right now. Am I stressing? No. Why would I? Coins are easy to get. You know what I mean? I could go and post half the shit up in my depot and make money. Yeah, I could. Essentially, what do I need the coins for? Right? Product. Well, why would I sell my good products? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to get money, easy ways to get money. So you guys manage everything better. You'll notice a huge difference. If you start holding different items, if you start paying attention more, producing the right things instead of the wrong things, you have to break this cycle of I wake up and I do the same thing every day expecting a different result. That's crazy, okay? So try that out, and don't sell your items for pennies. I should smack you upside the head, okay? Don't do that. That's crazy. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here because I'm going to try to get that feeder city going up again. But I can't stress that enough because this is something I see you guys doing all the time, and there's no reason for it. And it really comes down to all of it. It's all in one, and people focus on one or the other. They're just like, oh, what I produce. No, it's not just what you produce. It's all of it. They all flow together. If you were to manage a real store like that, it would be in shambles. You would be fired. That's foolish, right? Nobody would manage a business like that. So why are you managing your virtual business like that? That's all it really is a virtual business. Okay? All right. I am definitely going to, and you know what? Before everybody goes, yeah, but in a business, you can discount shit. Yeah, but guess what? Not when you know that somebody's going to show up in X amount of time and purchase it regardless, right? And that's why Daniel's so awesome, because he can just purchase that shit whether anybody wants to or not. Think about how flooded the global market would be without him. Oh my God, it would be terrible. Can you imagine? All those burgers and all the other shit that never gets sold without Daniel. So yeah, you better be kissing your lucky stars at him right now. You think the global sucks now. Woo. Yeah, it would really suck then.